Are you ready? The Dark Lord commands it! Are you ready? Let's welcome to the stage, Valentin Popper!
Hi everyone. My name is Valentin. I teach statistics in St. Andrews and I come from Bulgaria, which, for the information of our lovely host, does not belong to Russia. But I'm not here to defend the pride of my country, which has an area of 111,000 square kilometers. Population of... No, I'm here to talk about statistics. Okay, but before that, allow me to go on a rant about Bright Club. I never liked the name Bright Club. That would imply that I'm bright and that I'm belong to some sort of a club. And I'm afraid none of that is true. So I suggest to our lovely organizers of this otherwise fantastic event to relabel it in a more meaningful way. For example, Symposium of Researchers with Too Much Spare Time. Or Second Chance for Failed Comedians. Anyway, quite often when I come to Bright Club, not today, but quite often, there would be a social scientist moaning about statistics. You would think that statistics is some kind of an ancient Chinese torture created with the sole purpose of making the life of social scientists miserable. Well, that's not true. Statistics could be fun, and I'll give you a couple of examples today that this is indeed the case. Right. So, let's consider the following case. Okay? Let's say that I fancy the Austrian lady over there. I think she was... It's because I have a soft spot for Austria. So, my problem is I don't know her. Okay? So I'm facing this problem. What do statisticians do in a case like that? We build hypotheses. In statistics, there are two types of hypotheses. The no hypothesis would be she doesn't fancy me. That's the boring hypothesis. The alternative hypothesis would be she fancies me. That's the research hypothesis. Of course, that's the case if you're a normal guy like me. If you're George Clooney, for example, the boring hypothesis would be she fancies me like everyone. And the research hypothesis would be she has a butterfly tattoo on her bum. So, well, that's so much on the topic of hypothesis. Now, I need to make a decision regarding my hypothesis, okay? If I accept the hypothesis she fancies me, I'm gonna make a move. Or in my case, I'm just gonna think about making a move, don't worry. If, however, I reject the research hypothesis, I do nothing. I go boring. Now, how do we make decisions regarding the hypothesis? Well, in statistics, there are these types of statisticians called the Bayesians. And if you're a Bayesian statistician, you might want to incorporate some prior beliefs. For example, my charm is irresistible. No, I'll tell you what, the charm of Bayesian statisticians is not that irresistible. That's a topic of another story. So this way or the other, you need to evaluate data. So I don't know about women, but men use very sophisticated techniques to evaluate data. She smiled at me, I'm in. She has single on her Facebook page, she's totally into me. Very sophisticated, I tell you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to know that my decision regarding she fancies me, she doesn't fancy me, and the reality she fancies me, she doesn't fancy me, are two different things. So, if my decision corresponds to reality, then all is well. However, if it doesn't, I'm going to make an error. Okay? And in statistics, there are two types of errors. The first type of error is an error regarding the research hypothesis she fancies me. So if I incorrectly accept the hypothesis she fancies me, that hurts. It usually involves a lot of embarrassment and the use of phrases such as "fuck off" or in German verpiss. Yeah? But, we don't want that, okay? So statisticians have developed this concept called the significance level, or alpha, that limits the probability of making a mistake regarding the research hypothesis to a very small percentage, 10, 5, or 1%. Now you would say, why not go all the way and make this probability 0? Well, in that case, it turns out that if you do that, you'll be constantly accepting the boring hypothesis, she doesn't fancy me, like that guy in computer science does. And you'll be missed opportunities. Okay? I go bowling, and she says, where did that guy go? So that's what the second type of error is about. It's about missed opportunities. Now, it's impossible to guard ourselves simultaneously for the first type and for the second type of errors. So we know now there's the significance level, and if you want to do something about the second type of error, you might want to get into power analysis. Now, contrary to what you think, that doesn't involve the use of handcuffs, whips, or lasers. It's a totally different animal, but topic for another talk. Okay, so if I have some more time, I would like to walk you through the world of Tinder. So who here doesn't know what Tinder is? That's sad. Anyway, imagine that we have a person who wants to find their true love on Tinder. How do we call such a person? Delusional. Anyway, with statistics, we could show that actually there is some hope for this person. Okay? So let's model this situation. Okay? How cool is that? We're gonna model Tinder. So just assume the following. Okay? Each swipe is an independent trial with two possible outcomes. Okay? Success, finding true love, and failure, being eaten by the Tinder sharks. Now, if we start counting successes in a number of trials, that would lead us to the binomial distribution. And while we all agree that if you're an average person, the probability of success in a single swipe is very small, statistical theory tells us that the probability of having at least one success in n trials when n goes to infinity is 100%. So keep swiping, guys. There are some caveats though. We assume that we have independent trials. What happens in reality though is the following. So you meet person A, they break your heart. You meet person B, they take the pieces and grind them. Then comes person C, takes the leftovers and disintegrates them to molecular level. And by that time you're out of here. So what's the moral of the story? Don't take dating advice from a statistician.